Hello, welcome party people. I just want to do a quick mini tour of my sketchbook so you can kind of see what I've done in roughly 1.5 months of progress. I do operate in more than one sketchbook, so this is just the main one that I'm kind of using, and it is a Canson Graduate. It said like manga on the cover when I bought it, and it's really good with using like ink and markers and stuff. So that's what's mostly in here. Got a bunch of stickers on here because I love stickers. Vote in your little local elections, and then obviously like shop local and stuff too. We have a cool museum in the area, and then there's a hydration fairy. Drink lots of water. So yeah, we'll just get into it. I'll try to make this not too long. This is like my third time trying to film this, so we're gonna keep it casual. We're gonna look at stuff. Comments will be made. Hopefully some insight into what I am doing. So alright, let's get into it. Yeah, so Canson Graduate. Boop. I just left this blank because this is like a really flimsy page, and I don't know, I feel weird drawing on the first page. So, first page was really just a test run to see how the pens and markers hold on the paper. This is just a Japanese scene that, boy howdy, I overdid it on the marker. I saw tree shadows in the photo, and I was like, well, yeah, we're gonna do that. But it became too much, so it got really, really overdone and overworked. This is just our cat. And then this was with a brush pen that I really like called Sai. It's S-A-I. And that was just a test run too. These are alcohol markers over here. I wanted to see how much they would bleed through, and then just random notes I have. And that's from January 20th. So I do date a lot of my stuff to see how much I'm progressing or improving, if I am. So this I got a new pen. It was a Preppy O2. I really like it. It's a fountain pen. So just some general gesture drawings. Some little dudes testing the pen. I was really into gargoyles, so there's just a little chunky man baby there. Some cats. Yeah. And I wrote sometimes less is more, because sometimes I tend to overwork stuff, like, you know, this guy. So sometimes I gotta just stop and not keep going. So there's that page. I just like creatures, little dudes. They're just good. Bring good energy. This is more like alcohol marker tests. This is a mermaid that I didn't finish. I might finish her. I don't know yet. The alcohol markers I'm using are Master's Touch, which they're not like super terrible, but they're not great. It's not like I'm like using Ohuhu or anything cool. Maybe one day. I don't know. We'll see. These are like the Artix acrylic markers, which I love, but don't use them on smooth paper. They don't have a good time on smooth paper. So there's just like a little alien cat that I did because I thought he was cute. Next up, we have, I was using a really garbage pen. It was just some random like journaling pen that I use that doesn't have a name, and it had a little capybara at the end of it. I don't know. It was just a cute pen, and it was nearby, so I was like, yeah, let's use that. So I'm trying to work more on portraits and like faces and figure that out. So we had just watched Best in Show, really good movie if you haven't seen it. It has Jennifer Coolidge in it, who I love, but this does not look like Jennifer Coolidge, which is kind of sad, but I draw Jennifer Coolidge a lot, so I have like an old pencil drawing of her that does look like her. I haven't drawn in a while, and that's why I'm doing this again, to sort of be consistent, you know, and improve what I have. So that's Jennifer Coolidge. She does not look like Jennifer Coolidge. This is Jane Lynch. She was also in the movie. And then we have Eugene Levy. I feel like once we hit Eugene Levy, it did look more like him. Jane Lynch has got some of the aura of Jane Lynch, but not really. I don't know. I wasn't too happy with this page. But then I like wrote a note, you know, big bad art. We're just practicing. We're practicing. It's good for you. Also, my pen is garbage, so that's why that's there. That was on February 2nd. I just wanted some color on the page too, so I think I laid down the marker behind first, and then I went over with the pen. Some swirlies just to fill the space. So I guess remember what these faces look like, and then further down the line we'll see that there is progress being made. This is a couple character drawings from the game Atlas. So this is a character I made. He is a, oh my god, what are they called? Kobold? I think he's a kobold. And he was like a mystic. So he was just a little nerdy lad. And I did that with orange pencil first and then went over with the preppy pen, which I really like the preppy pens. This was around Valentine's 2/9, so I was drawing hearts and cats, and they're grumpy. Here we have some more like character work from Atlas. This is my imp Koji. She's a fighter. Got the armor, little monster guy. This was, oh man, what is the football thing called that everyone watches? Super Bowl. This is from the Super Bowl. I don't know anything about sports, guys. Like, I got nothing. I'm not a sports person. If that's what you're into, cool. Love that. So yeah, I had gotten a new highlighter that I wanted to use that was, I don't remember the name of it. I feel like it's like Studio Bliss or something. It's a really fat highlighter that I really like because it goes on super smooth, and I really like the color too. And then just like this weird gel pen I got, I just did some abstract circles and junk. This is supposed to be Kendrick Lamar. I don't think it really looks like him, but I feel like my face is improved here. This is supposed to be Serena Williams, and she ended up with like the smallest ear ever. I don't know what I was thinking, but you know, it's more practice. We do what we do. So yeah, I feel like here I was thinking of the less is more. There's not full eye shapes going on or like a full nose. It's more of a hint of a nose, hint of eyes. Eyebrows came out kind of thick, but you know, whatever. This was another brush pen, another side, just in blue. So yeah, there's that. If I'm going too quickly, I'm sorry. I just don't want this to be a super long video. Again, this is my third time doing it. Here's some tigers. I operate on two levels. I'm drawing people and I'm drawing animals. So I was looking at some reference photos, you know, just gesturally kind of figuring out the shape of the tiger, putting it in an environment with like these little tufts of grass and stuff. This was a face. It started really bad. I did it on like a work break or something, and I hated it, and then I came back to it after work, and I just added more. So I did a lot more dark lines and shadows, and just basically the whole thing became darker. This was like a skinny line drawing before, and now she's thick, and we like it. I feel like this ended up much better than where it came from. This is 2/13, so day before Valentine's Day. We got, this tiger's probably my favorite because I feel like it shows movement much better, and it's an interesting angle. This one was running in snow, so I have some like tufts of snow popping up, and this is all with the brush pen that I like. And then I wanted to try and stylize the tigers more, so I have like this little goober up here and this little guy, and then this one too. Sometimes it's fun to just, you know, be weird with it, and it's totally fine if you use reference photos, totally fine if you don't. Like, to each their own, but don't like shame anyone for using them or not using them, you know? Like, we're all just drawing, unless you're of course like selling something that looks like an exact copy of someone else's work. Obviously we're not here for that, but you know. So yeah, I liked how these tigers turned out. The markers on here, I'm not even kidding you, were just some like dopey knockoff washable marker that I used. Hang on, actually I have it right by me. Creatology. This was like in a kids markers pack at Michael's, and I just wanted some color that was fun. Here we have the ladies. So this was at a sip and sketch event at a coffee shop near me. Really fun. Highly recommend like joining in like on your community and just art events that are happening near you. This was great because then you got to interact with other artists and see what they're working on and work around them. Just really good environment. Just look up local stuff that's happening with you and attend it. It's makes a world of difference to get other opinions and viewpoints, you know? Sometimes you need a fresh set of eyes on things. Okay, so anyways, back to this. So I sketched out some like basic shapes with red pencil first. So I had like, you know, a little circle bit, line, chin, figure out where the eyes are going. And then I went over it with that brush pen. And then the background, oh, I really like whatever marker this is. I think it's by the same people that make Micron pens. It has a sakura flower on it. I'll show that in a different video probably, because I don't have any of those near me. So this is supposed to be Doja Cat and 2 other singers I don't know. But I just really like Doja Cat's look. She's feisty. I like what she's got going on so far. Yeah. I don't know if that'll focus very well. But I was pretty happy with how that turned out. Other than, like, I need to work more on profiles. I do a lot of dead-on faces. I need more people turning and whatnot. But already I feel like we're at a midway point of improvement in this sketchbook. And then I left the other side blank. Sometimes that just happens. And I'm kind of glad I did because it smudged a bit. I don't know if it just was the pens, like, if it was so inky and the paper so smooth it doesn't dry very quickly. A lot of times you'll just see me, like, fanning and hoping that it's dry. Here's some, like, just rough sketches. I was watching a YouTuber and I was drawing her as she talked, which I think is a really good practice so you can be quick and not really think about the lines you're doing. Well, you are thinking, but you have to be more gestural. You have to just have a sense of urgency and really whip out the person, you know? She's a bunny girl that I follow on YouTube, and she's in Japan. So it's crazy how different she looks without makeup and with makeup on, and then I feel like this is a better representation of her. And then just more of my dumb notes. This is my boyfriend at our favorite ramen place. He looked good until I messed up his nose, but I feel like it still kind of looks like him a little bit. This is our favorite coffee shop that we go to. I wanted a sense of depth, or at least, like, I don't know, more layers to a drawing, so I wanted to have the back shelves and the counter and then the hint of this booth and chalkboard. And I was kind of creepy and I, like, took a photo of all of them standing there so I could draw it later. And then there's also, like, the doorway to the kitchen. But I feel like that one turned out alright too. I don't know if we're getting good focus, but this is our life now. Sorry. That's 2/17, so it's a couple days after Valentine's. So we're getting more through February. Here is where I feel like I hit a turning point in drawing portraits. So I started with this page, and we had just seen Nosferatu, and I just wanted to draw him because he's just weird. He's just a weird-looking dude. And while I was drawing him, I was very relaxed, and I didn't care what he ended up looking like, because he's just a weird-looking dude, so it's gonna look weird no matter what I did. And I think that helped me, like, have something click where I was like, okay, we gotta relax more when we're drawing stuff. So that's him, and then I ended up drawing the lady from that movie too. Her nose got a little wonky, but whatever. I feel like that still kind of looks like her. So I was really happy how with these turned out. Also, I'm not editing this, so just sorry if I mess up saying anything. Little bad accents. I like lettering a lot, so that's why I wrote out Nosferatu, kind of all jagged-like. Anyways, sorry I say a lot. So there's that, and that helped me loosen up for these 3 sketches, which I feel like look way more recognizable. Like, I'm sure you could guess at least one person from this side of the page. So we have Luigi, we got Bernie Sanders, and we have AOC. Bernie maybe just looks kind of like an old man, but I feel like Luigi is easy to figure out just looking at him because he has the giant eyebrows, he's got the big schnoz, and a little hint of a beard, you know. AOC I tried to keep more simple, so just straight lines for the hair, thinking of like neck shadows, clothes shadows, keeping the lip kind of light. Her eye's a little wonky in this one, but whatever, it's all practice, you know. Bernie, I was trying to get more wrinkles happening to establish that he's an older man. With Bernie, I don't know, I really liked how his teeth and mouth ended up because he has really thin lips. So I was trying not to do too much with the lips on this page. And with, like, Luigi, he just has, like, this big shadow under his lip. But I felt way better about these drawings, and that happened at a Barnes & Noble on the 25th. So what I did first was I used just blue-colored pencil underneath to, again, establish some, like, circles and chin and lines. I have to, like, map out where things go, just to, like, teach myself. So yeah, I feel like this was done with the preppy pen as well. Okay, enough of that. This page, or these pages, I should say, Monster Hunter Wilds had just come out, so I just want to draw more dudes. So I was literally just taking, like, photos with my phone of my PC. So we got the Ceratonoth, we got the Gaios, and then Wind Rustlers. We'll get to this in a minute. I drew this one first with a different preppy pen that has pink ink, that same blue highlighter. It was kind of interesting how I didn't really let the pink ink dry, and the blue highlighter gave like this watercolor effect on some of the ink. So that was kind of like, I don't know, cool exploration, fun to find out. Some more writing, so Ceratonoth, Gaios, Wind Rustlers, although that's kind of close to my handwriting. Gaios, again, just that preppy pen and highlighter. It's just a cool sawbill crocodile looking dude. I was trying to think more of, like, the texture of the body, but I didn't want to texturize the whole thing, because then it just felt overloaded. And then some shadows. Wind Rustler, that was with the brush pen. And that was just super quick. I don't know, I just like these little dinguses. They're just super cuties. I love them. And then these three little scenes are just some landscapes I tried to do. Oh man, we don't focus here, boys. So there's just some cranes in the water, or maybe egrets, whatever it is, the long-necked birds. This is a little, like, cottage in the hillside with a fence going in, and then just a beach with a bunch of rocks, basically. I really liked how this one turned out, because I feel like the fence really created good depth. Like, it really looks like it's going in the distance. And sometimes I just frame stuff like this to keep it in its own little pod. I don't know. Sometimes I just like doing this, and it almost feels like a comic, or I'm not as stressed out because I don't have to fill out like a whole page. It's just like, my mind is like, we only got to fill out this one square, and that's going to be great, because that's not a hard thing to do. So if you're like struggling to start, I would recommend just drawing little boxes or weird shapes on your page, and then just filling those. And then once you fill out one, you're more motivated to fill out more. And then again, sometimes I just get bored and I add random junk. I feel like we were all drawing these stars in our tween years, or at least my tween years. I don't know what you're doing. Maybe the kids are doing something else now, or those cool S's. I'm gonna draw one of those today. So yeah. Here we got some gorilla studies. Again, I just like drawing creatures a lot. So this page was definitely a lot more like thinking involved. So I started more gesturally, just figuring out the shapes and the muscle placement and where everything lines up on that gorilla. And then, again, standing, thinking about where everything falls, proportions, like how big are the legs compared to the arms, compared to the chest, compared to the head. And then here it was more thinking about the facial structure, so where the eyes sit and the nose and mouth. And just like more skull-based thinking. And then simple lines to just get a general sense of how the body is. This one had more shading, just because I wanted to, like, color in the dark parts of the fur. Yeah. And then I put them in red boxes, because I keep seeing this thing on the internet where everyone's like, you gotta figure out the boxes, you gotta do the box thing. And I'm like, what? Okay. Which is just a way of thinking of things more in a three-dimensional space, and it's awesome. But I always draw the figure first and then put the box on after, so I almost wonder if I should be doing that the other way around, where I'm like, okay, box first, put the object inside. I don't know. You tell me. But I feel like this gives a sense of him walking, and it's more, I don't know, more 3D, not as flat. So we went from this to this to this to this, and then eventually I ended up with this red one because I wanted to confirm I was done practicing and problem solving. So I just went to a red, like, felt tip pen, I think. So we got, like, the face, we've got more shadows, we've got some fur textures happening, head shape, placement of the ear. And then I was like, all right, we've done all our practice. We've cracked the code. So then I went over here, did this with the brush pen. Really liked how this turned out. I feel like he's very gorilla-y. I know the leg looks really small, but I'm not kidding you. Like, that's how it looked in my reference photo. And he's got really weird feet. I don't know if you've ever looked at gorilla feet, but they're weird little, like, spread hands. They're like, brah. I don't know. Again, more lettering. Because I see this a lot on Instagram where people draw all these boxes in a line and they just kind of chop them up and then carve out the letters they want. Big fan of that. Yeah. He's also got like a bit of a space around him, so just gold frame background. I just like putting squares or circles or shapes around things, because then it's not just sitting in empty white space. And then to end the day, I did this little monkey guy. I think he turned out really cute, but this was only like a 5-minute thing. I literally was just like brush pen, not caring, do the eye circles, and then get the fuzzy fur, a little bit of shadow, tell where some different fur is. You know, I feel like that turned out pretty alright too. Sometimes you just gotta not think about it. We can do a lot of thinking, and we can also do no thinking. Best of both worlds. And that was on 5th of March. So yeah, there's that page. This is my most recent page. So yeah, March 9th. I just had this lady. I think I used a Micron pen for her, and then the preppy pink pen in the background. These are with the brush pen. This hat is brush pen, and then I think this is a Micron. I was just trying to think of faces more. Sometimes I'd just be drawing heads. You know how it'd be. This is a Native American man. I didn't really like how he turned out, because I feel like I flattened out his forehead too much. I don't know. It is what it is. And then we got Cowboy Lad. He's from, what's that movie? Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I don't remember what his name is, though, or the actor's name. Sorry. But I feel like he turned out pretty good. I liked how his mustache turned out. His hat, I feel like, doesn't look stupid, which that was a huge win for me. And he's got some wrinkles, some eyes, some shadow. And then this is him as a frog, because my boyfriend's like, draw him as a frog, so I did. I think that's just really funny, because he's got the wrinkly eyes and the mustache and the hat. I whipped some spurs on him. So that's kind of where I'm at now. But I feel, you know, if we look at some of my current portraits like these, and we compare them to the earlier portraits, we see improvement. You know, we see progression. At least I feel like I've improved a little bit. I don't know. You tell me what you think. Am I still on the same level? Or have I gotten a smidgen better? I don't know. It's all just exercises. You really just gotta sit down and do it. Yeah. So anyways, that's what I got going on so far. I'll probably make more videos like this. I don't know if this one's gonna end up really long or really short. If you have any questions, I guess let me know, or if you have any tips or tricks, like maybe you know the box method thing can explain it better for me so it'll click. But really, just go out there, make stuff, draw what makes you happy. Like, it's really good to go back to basics, you know, like this junk, but it's also, you gotta make sure you're having fun, because if you're doing this and hating it, you're gonna have a bad time. Because my older sketchbook, I was literally just doing this all the time, because I was like, I have to get better, why am I not getting better? And it really stressed me out, and I think that's why I wasn't getting better, because I wasn't having fun. And this is your playground. This is your little playground, you gotta play around in it, and just draw what makes you happy. If you're not sure what makes you happy, then I guess just don't draw that day. I know that sounds bad, but it's okay to take a day off or two, or even like a week. Or sometimes you will just have an off day. Like, this was a really good day, and then this was kind of an off day, if I'm being real with you. So just know that it happens. Don't stress. Have fun. Really appreciate you stopping by. So thanks again, and y'all have a really good day.